Time now for an in-depth look at the market news this afternoon, and for that I'm joined on the line by Dr. Kim Sei-wan, Professor of Economics at Ewha Womans University. Professor Kim, good afternoon. Thanks for coming on the program today.
Good afternoon, Devin.
Well, stocks in New York were higher for the most part overnight, though tech shares on the Nasdaq closed lower. Strong earnings from names like Walmart and Home Depot. For the Dow, it was the fifth gain in a row. What's the story in the global markets?
U.S. Stock indexes closed Tuesday mostly higher as investors parsed better than expected earnings from major retailers like Walmart. That shows consumers are still shopping despite high inflation. The S&P 500 added 0.2% after opening lower. However, the tech-focused Nasdaq Composite shed 0.2%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 0.7%. Stocks have largely rallied in recent days, with the S&P 500 climbing for 4 straight weeks as of last Friday. But some investors view the rally as a sign of easing negative sentiment. But others believe that the momentum may be fading, citing recent weak data on China's economy and U.S. manufacturing. All Asian markets expanded today. Nikkei 225 rose 1.2%, and in China, Shanghai index edged up 0.5%, and Hong Kong's Hang Seng index also rose 0.5% today, as of 3 p.m. in Seoul time.
Well, here in Korea, the KOSPI started out higher but was soon in negative territory. Almost all the big names were down today. Car makers in particular down after several big gains recently. Perhaps the U.S. Spending bill that's going to restrict the tax credit for EVs contributing to that. Well, tell us about the domestic market.
Until yesterday, domestic markets gained over 3 straight trading days. However, domestic markets all declined today without clear direction of the markets. Actually, among the major Asian markets, only Korean market dropped today. Domestic markets are much affected by U.S. market's mixed situation of yesterday. The benchmark KOSPI retreated 0.7%, and Nasdaq also shed 0.9%. Since U.S. inflation dropped last month, there are growing expectations that domestic inflation would be also stabilizing in next 3 to 4 months. In KOSPI market, institutional investor sales led market downside with net sales of 200 billion won. Most of large cap stocks declined today as the whole market declines. The largest cap, Samsung Electronics, dropped 1%, but the third largest cap, SK Hynix, gained 0.4% today.
Well, another big story right now, oil prices. They're at their lowest point in 6 months, lower, in fact, than when Russia first invaded Ukraine. West Texas Intermediate off by close to $3. Korea's benchmark Dubai crude down by less. What's going on with oil prices? What's your outlook, Professor?
Oil prices edged lower today. One of the global crude benchmark, Dubai, was down 1.5% to $93. And 46 cents a barrel, closing at its lowest settlement value since February. Oil prices plunging recently on expectation that global economy is slowing down further, but it is unclear if it's as big a slowdown as some of the recent outlooks have been predicting. Also, China, which is the world's largest oil importers, economy is seriously slowing down due to the strong zero-COVID policy. Another factor to drag down oil price recently is supplying disruptions in the U.S. Gulf of Mexico would be short-term. The global oil market also absorbed contrasting demand views from the OPEC and the IEA, or International Energy Agency. Overall, the oil demand will go ups and down, but supply is still the main concern in the future.
Well, now the Korean government's announced a plan over the next 5 years to get 2.7 million new homes onto the market to help address the shortage. In Seoul, this will be around 500,000 homes. They want around half of these developments overall to be led by the private sector. What do you make of this plan, Professor, and do you think it'll achieve the desired goal?
The main point of stabilizing housing market should be supplying more apartments in major metro areas. President Yoon's administration said that it will provide 2.7 million new homes nationwide over the next 5 years by easing regulations on redevelopment and reconstruction, as well as designating a group of locations as new towns for development. Almost 3 in 5 new homes will be provided in Seoul metropolitan area. That includes Gyeonggi province and Incheon, as the government is planning to build 500,000 units in Seoul and 1.1 million units combined in Gyeonggi province and Incheon. For other areas, government will supply 520,000 units in 6 major cities like Busan, Daegu, Daejeon, Gwangju, Ulsan, and Sejong, and 600,000 units in the 8 remaining provinces. But I have to say that government will begin this big project in consideration of market conditions, because this new plan could be another trigger of housing price rise. And some market insiders say that the fast rising interest rate and the spike in raw materials prices for construction could be main hurdles for the state-led supply plan.
Yeah, these things are notoriously difficult to predict. We'll have to keep an eye on it, see how it pans out with your help, Professor. Thank you, as always, for coming on the program. Dr. Kim, we appreciate your insights.
Thank you very much, Devin.